Hello everyone, my name is Arsema Pérez and I'm going to briefly present my research titled A Corpus-Based Analysis of Gender-Based Language in Spanish and English. The language that we use reflects and shapes our perception of the world. Linguist Wurth highlighted language's importance in our thinking and attributed the idea to his professor Sapir, which gave birth to the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, also known as the linguistic relativity hypothesis. This theory has sparkled a lot of interest, and numerous researchers influenced by feminist movements have focused on studying how gender bias in language reinforces societal stereotypes impacting women's daily lives. For example, the scholar Cuisinart conducted a study that revealed numerous terms with negative connotations when associated with women. An example is the pair bachelor and spinster. And despite sharing common binary features, the word spinster carries a negative connotation because it was a word that appeared back in the 17th century when married women of a certain age were devalued, linking their single status to personal failure. Gender-biased language, even if initially seen as anecdotal, it can have significant consequences also impacting women's employment opportunities. For instance, Second Scholar and company conducted a study analyzing over 460 letters of recommendation, and the research revealed implicit gender bias in these letters, with those written for male applicants containing more references to personal drive, work, and power compared to the letters for female applicants. At the end, the letters referencing power were more likely to correspond to successful candidates, suggesting the presence of gender bias throughout the recruitment process as well. So, taking all this into account and with a social perspective, my aim with this exploratory research was to examine gender-biased language in different aspects of our daily lives, including printed media, our daily expressions, also in the advertisement of household products, taking in this case a multimodal analysis approach. To examine the prevalence of gender-biased language in printed media, I have extracted headlines from the sports section of different Spanish online newspapers, including ABC and Marca. And also, in order to investigate the prevalence of gender-biased language in our daily expression, I have made personalized searches in contemporary corpus of American English, which encompasses a vast collection of over 560 million of words derived from different text genres, like including spoken, fiction, popular magazine, newspaper, and academic. And to investigate the prevalence of gender-biased language in advertisements for household products, I have analyzed products from the household category in 5 well-known online Spanish and British supermarkets, which are Mas y Mas, Carrefour, Eroski, Morrisons, Waitrose. And the analysis involved a multimodal approach, examining both images and tests on the marketed products aiming to identify any implicit gender-biased messages. So I discovered over 30 samples of gender biases, but the study includes only 6 representative samples. So let's see the results. In gender-biased language in printed media, the initial observation of the headlines of sports sections from various Spanish online newspapers revealed a consistent pattern in which a term femenine was employed as a descriptor when reporting on competitions involving female players, such as Eurobasket Femenino, as you can see over here. Nevertheless, in the case of competitions featuring male teams, the term masculino or masculine was not used at all, as it was presumed to be kind of implicit. A more thorough analysis of the different headlines showed that the term chicas, girls, was employed instead of the term jugadoras to refer to female sport players. It is noteworthy that although in some cases the players in question were under the age of 18, the majority of the samples pertain to adult players. As you can see here, las chicas, las pibas, las chicas. As for gender biases in our daily expressions, as said before, in order to identify the prevalence of gender-biased language in our daily expressions, I have made personal searches in the contemporary corpus of American English, right? So dichotomous terms such including husband and wife and husband, he and she and he, sir and madam, madam and sir, male and female and male, were entered into the search query to determine the frequency of occurrence for each respective option and see if there were any biases in gender word ordering. And the obtained results indicate a significant prevalence of instances where the male term precedes the female term. To delve deeper into the usage of gender-biased language in our daily expressions, I once again used the corpus and contrasted the frequency of occurrence of the terms someone's wife, someone's husband, someone's girlfriend, and someone's boyfriend, and the obtained results reveal a notably higher prevalence of instances featuring the terms someone's wife and someone's girlfriend. When examining the household products from the aforesaid online supermarkets, I observed the absence of overt sexism. Nevertheless, a more thorough scrutiny taking a multimodal analysis approach revealed a noteworthy prevalence of women's hand being used in product advertisements with a complete absence of any instances featuring men's hands. Here are some of the samples extracted from each of the different online supermarkets, and here you have another one. So what does all this mean? The unequal use of adjectives like masculine and feminine, with only the latter being employed, contributes to othering women and perpetuates traditional hegemonic masculinity associated with sports, which is why it is more recommendable using the descriptors consistently in both cases or avoiding them altogether. Referring to female players as chicas or girls is imprecise and problematic since these athletes are professionals and adults. Using such terminology undermines their recognition as skilled professionals and fails to acknowledge their dedication in their field of work. Additionally, referring to women as chicas infantilizes them and perpetuates these sexist stereotypes portraying women as childlike. This phenomenon, known as denying adulthood, systematically represents women as children, which diminishes their social value, in this case, their worth in the field of sports. The quantitative analysis of data from the corpus has revealed gender biases in word ordering. This aligns with previous research on school textbooks, like for example by Pillai and Mastery, where the masculine term consistently preceded the feminine term in dichotomous phrases. The current study, covering various genres like spoken, fiction, magazine, newspapers, and academic tests, shows that this phenomenon extends beyond school textbooks, reflecting gender-biased language prevalent in daily usage. This reinforces sexist notions, positioning women in subordinate roles in society. The phenomenon is further supported by the biased use of possessive apostrophes. Phrases like someone's wife or someone's girlfriend occur more often than someone's husband or someone's boyfriend, suggesting that women are often defined in relation to men, reinforcing the idea of their dependence and of subordination. As for the gender-biased language in household products, while there were no explicit gender-biased linguistic expressions, a recurrent metonymy of part for whole type was observed in the product images. This metonymy involved showing a hand holding the product, representing the whole person using it. Strikingly, in all instances, the hand depicted belonged to a woman, implying that women are primarily associated with using household products. Metonymies are common in our daily lives and reflect our perceptions and understanding of the word, and in this case, the metonymic examples subtly replace the explicit portrayals of women as primary users of household products, reinforcing the idea that women are solely responsible for household chores. Even in products as the one that we can see over here, endorsed by a male figure, the metonymy of a woman's hand using the product persists, implying male supervision of women's work. So to conclude, the findings of this study have shown that sexism is still present in our daily lives, often manifesting in subtle ways. The words we use, the order in which we use them, they all stereotype our thoughts and say a lot about our prejudices. This is why it is important that we become more aware of this and actively try making a more careful use of language. The present study is not without limitations, which is why future research should focus on increasing the number of samples focusing on other linguistic and non-linguistic aspects of the language, and exploring gender-based language in other realms such as education. Thank you for your attention, and these are the references.